America. We see it as this huge, sprawling place, almost too big to manage. Too many people, too much land. But here's the shocker. America wasn't just big. It was built with a hidden genius, a core idea designed to make even the most massive problems feel simple. From its very start, it figured out how to make its sheer scale a strength. This goes against everything you think you know about making a giant nation actually work. So how did it get there? Because for centuries, building America was the opposite of simple. It was a place of massive, ancient cities, but also total failure. The first English colony at Roanoke just vanished. The next one at Jamestown almost starved to death. Then, in 1619, slavery arrived, starting a brutal system that would shape the country for hundreds of years. It was a place of constant, messy struggle. So out of all that chaos, where did this genius idea come from? It was the simple promise that anyone could show up here, leave their old life behind, and have a shot at something better. Life, liberty, you know the deal. That one core belief became the blueprint for everything that followed. It's the secret to how America took on its insane size and made the biggest challenges feel manageable. And we're going to unpack exactly how it worked. But before that blueprint existed, trying to build anything big in North America was a total nightmare. For European powers, it was one disaster after another. Just look at the first English attempts. The colony at Roanoke got supplies sent over, and it still failed. The people just vanished without a trace. Another settlement in Maine fell apart in less than a year. Even Jamestown, which we now think of as the first permanent English colony, came incredibly close to completely starving to death. Simply keeping people alive was a massive challenge. And it wasn't just about survival. Trying to control any large piece of land was almost impossible because everyone was fighting over it. The French would set up a fort, then get pushed out. The Dutch built New Amsterdam, what we now call New York City, and even took over some Swedish colonies. But then the English came in and conquered the whole thing. For decades, it was a constant turf war. No single power could hold on to a big territory and govern it effectively. It was just too chaotic. This all came to a head in the French and Indian War. Britain and France fought a massive war over land, especially around the Ohio River Valley. Britain won, but it left them with a mountain of debt. So what did they do? They tried to make the American colonies pay for it. And that was the final straw. People in the colonies were furious. They saw it as an attack on their rights. There were riots, boycotts, and violence. It got so bad that in 1770, British soldiers fired into a crowd in Boston, killing 5 people. It was the ultimate proof that the old model was broken. Trying to run this huge, diverse, and angry population from an ocean away just wasn't going to work anymore. The system for managing things at a big scale had completely failed. So with the old system totally broken, what came next wasn't a complicated new set of rules. It was a single, powerful idea. An idea that basically said, anyone, from anywhere, can come here. You can leave behind whatever was holding you back, a terrible government, a dead-end job, just being poor, and you can start fresh. Here, you could claim a new identity. You could have freedom and a real shot at building a better life. You could become an American. And this was a complete game changer. Think about it. For decades, the big problem was that everyone was divided. You had the English fighting the French, the Dutch fighting the Swedes. Everyone was loyal to a flag an ocean away. This new idea wiped all of that off the table. Suddenly, it didn't matter if your family was German or Irish or Dutch. If you bought into this American promise, you were on the same team. It created a single, unifying identity where one didn't exist before. It was the ultimate tool for getting a massive number of very different people to pull in the same direction. And it worked like a magnet. To build something truly big, you need people. Lots of them. This promise was the ultimate recruitment pitch, and it brought millions to America's shores. The numbers don't lie. In 1750, the original colonies had a population of just over 1 million people. Today, that number is almost 340 million. That explosive growth wasn't an accident. It was powered by this one simple, scalable idea born in 1776. It was the engine that finally made building America possible, turning a chaotic continent into the world's leading superpower. So with this powerful new identity, America didn't waste any time. It got to work building a nation that was designed to be absolutely huge from the very start. Right after the Revolutionary War, a 1783 treaty gave the new United States control over a massive territory east of the Mississippi River. This was the starting block. But the vision was already way bigger than that. In 1803, Thomas Jefferson made a deal that basically doubled the size of the country overnight, the Louisiana Purchase. All of a sudden, that wild dream of a nation stretching from one ocean to the other didn't seem so wild anymore. And by 1848, after the war with Mexico, that dream became a reality. The American border officially hit the Pacific Ocean. Of course, owning a massive, empty piece of land doesn't mean you have a country. You need to fill it with people. And that's exactly what happened next. The same year America reached the Pacific, gold was discovered in California. It was like someone lit a fuse. The news triggered a human tidal wave, with more than 300,000 people dropping everything to rush west, hoping to strike it rich. Here's how fast this was. In just a couple of years, the tiny village of San Francisco exploded into a bustling city of 30,000. It grew so quickly that California was fast-tracked into becoming a state. But this created one last, giant problem. You now had a country that was 3,000 miles wide, but it was almost completely disconnected. A trip from New York to San Francisco could take months of dangerous travel. The answer was a project that seemed almost impossible at the time, the Transcontinental Railroad. When it was finished in 1869, it stitched the country together. That brutal, months-long journey was suddenly cut down to a matter of days. New towns sprouted up along the tracks, seemingly out of nowhere. The vast Great Plains were rapidly transformed into farmland. This wasn't just about building a railroad. It was about wiring a continent together, turning a sprawling map into a single, functioning nation. This was the American blueprint in motion. America began in chaos, struggling for centuries. But after 1776, a powerful idea emerged, a hidden genius for making massive problems feel simple. This blueprint allowed it to double its size, then wire a continent with projects like the Transcontinental Railroad. The impossible became possible. This genius wasn't just about land. It was a core promise. Anyone could come here, build a new life, and tackle huge challenges together. That unique American mindset, from diverse people, mastered scale, from giant building projects to rockets to the moon. This mastery still lets America tackle issues that would crush other nations. But this hidden genius also has a surprising flip side. What other patterns and hidden costs are built into America's unique approach? Subscribe to keep uncovering ideas that truly shape our world.